Hi, my name is Allie Arnold, and I will be talking to Coach Rushing about Coppell Athletics moving from 5A to 6A. So why is Coppell moving up to 6A, and what does this mean for Coppell sports?
Well, 6A is kind of a new designation for what 5A used to be. The change from classifications to 5A being the highest to 6A being the highest is really engineered to help out some of the lower levels, some of the 3A schools that there's a big parity in, the small 3As and the big 3As, and so what it does is it allows them to split. Whereas like 6A now is going to be the exact same setup as 5A last year. You're going to have the same schools, with your Allens, your Planos, those really big schools will still be in it. But one of the big deals is Highland Park's been traditionally a 4A, whereas now they're in the highest classification, which is now 6A with their enrollment. So it doesn't change anything as far as the schools that are in there necessarily. The new 6A is pretty much what the old 5A was.
Okay. Hi, I'm Stephanie Alexander, and I'm with graphic designer Julia. Julia signed up to be part of the Dallas Marathon this weekend, but due to the ice, it was canceled. So, how much money did you lose during this?
I spent like $120 to run it and get the t-shirt and everything, so it was just really disappointing.
Were you really excited to run?
Sort of. I mean, I just wanted to do it for the 13.1 sticker, so it's kind of disappointing, but now it's it happened.
Are you going to do it next year?
I'm going to do the Cowtown in February.
Is that a half marathon as well?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Julia.
This is my fourth year to do the Chick Jeans project. So about 4 years ago, I was thinking about genetics, about, DNA, how can we see more of this? What project could we do where we could see the product of genes and not just talk about genes, the genotype versus the phenotype, which is what they look like. So I grew up on a farm, so I'm, familiar with animals, and my sister has a farm. So originally, then I started talking to her, and I was like, so you have specific breeds of chickens, right? And so I started asking these questions, and then just formulated the idea that if we incubated eggs, and I knew the breed of the rooster and the hens, that the students could do some research, and they could look up dominant recessive traits, and then work on, learn about Punnett squares and traits and how genes are passed from one generation to the next by studying that, working out Punnett squares and predicting what the chicks would look like when they were hatched, if they had, the father. So I've run it a little bit different each year. This year I have a rooster that's Araucana rooster breed, and the hens for the mother possibilities are Araucana and Phoenix. So now they can, and I actually waited a little bit longer because before I have had some non-hatching, and I think it's because the weather gets cold. So now they have the chicks hatched, and they get to look at the way they look at traits that they're going to be developing for about 2 weeks, and then they can match them to the breed, and of course, in a sense, match to say who their mommy is. So that way they get to see the full span of genetics and how they're passed from generation to generation. So it's more relative and more real in their hands than just talking about a bunch of dominant recessive traits on paper.